few days before Hurricane Milton came ashore. We were working with our Emergency Operations Center with our corporate office out of Nashville. We were plugged into all 16 hospitals.
We watch our camera systems at all the hospitals that we think are going to be affected, and we'd been watching the Largo one. We started to see that there was flooding behind the building. The water was up to 2 feet within probably 10 minutes, and it just kept rising. The switch that would switch us to generator power was down in the area that was getting flooded. And so if we lost power, we wouldn't be able to go over to generator.
We found out in the middle of the night Largo Hospital's in trouble. It kind of made my gut sink because it wasn't an evacuation site. That was one of the places we were sending people.
Water by that time was like 4.5 feet tall. They lost power shortly after that.
That's when we got word that it's an emergency, all hands on deck.
The leadership team didn't sleep. They were here the whole time, very, very calm with giving direction.
We sat there and figured out what patients were on which machines and how long did we have if we lost power. None of the ambulances at this point were willing to travel because the wind was too high. And then we immediately were like, we've got our rigs at Brandon. What can we do with that?
Our 3 ambulances that we had to go over there, and we started planning on the worst case scenario, getting the equipment together, getting the trucks together. The first thing that went through my mind is, how are we even gonna get there? We have trees down and power lines down. That was the biggest fear, is what if we couldn't get there?
And the minute the wind speed got low enough, they were on the way. And we were just so excited because we knew they were gonna get there and we were gonna save these people's lives.
Once we got in the trucks, reality hit. We're not going to have a normal drive. Down power lines, down trees, no lights. The headlights were all we had at most times. You're anxious because every turn you make, you go, please don't let this road be flooded.
In fact, we had folks calling into them while they were driving and they're like, we have to find a different route, we can't go that way.
We had a sigh of relief when we pulled into Largo, which then turned into pure terror when we realized how bad it really was. We just started picking patients. Who is the sickest and how can we get them out of there? What can we do? Fresh intubated patients, and they needed 3-4 hour transports.
So we had 5 we had to get out immediately. Heart transplant patients, patients that are on more machines than any ICU patient you've ever seen.
One patient's been here for over 70 days. He got his heart and kidney transplant the day before. He didn't want to leave us. He looked at me and took my hand and said, would you come with me? And of course, we got in the HCA truck and he held my hand the whole way there.
The crews did it without hesitation. It's what they're trained for. It's what these ambulances are equipped with. You know, we buy the best equipment to get the best possible patient outcomes.
I helped the first patient get on the ambulance, and I stayed till 9:30 that night till the last patient got on the ambulance. I'm not leaving now. We're gonna finish it and make sure every patient has made it out of here.
We had transported out 240 patients out of Largo to keep them safe.
Our clinicians and our leaders went above and beyond, putting their own lives at risk. Some heroic efforts to not only transfer these patients, but to ultimately respond to this natural disaster.
The thing that makes EMS special is they believe in this. I couldn't think of a better team to go over there and do what they did. It's what we live for.
These guys were willing to go on the road at a time when no one else would to save these people's lives, and it just means the world to us.